What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Physical Media Friday. I'm going to squeeze this one in before the scary content starts for October. And I have three really interesting films here, all starring Yasaku Matsuda, who, of course, was in the Game trilogy. And he also appeared in Black Rain with Michael Douglas right before his untimely death at the age of 40. He's something of a legendary actor in Japan. And I think because of companies like Arrow and Radiance, hopefully he'll become more widely known and appreciated in other parts of the world. So, I have not always kept up with playlists on the channel, but I do have a Yasaku Matsuda playlist. I have an unboxing of this, and then 3 videos reviewing each of the 3 movies, and then another review for a film called Resurrection of Golden Wolf, which was actually on a Sonny Chiba collection, but Sonny Chiba in that film has a supporting role, and Yasaku Matsuda is the lead role. So look for these to be, when I do review these, they will be added to that playlist. Let's start off with the one from Arrow. I've already shown this, but I'm going to open it up and show everything that's inside of it. Proof of the Man. This just came out recently. This is the one that I accidentally double ordered. Whoopsie. So I'll keep that one in the plastic. Oh boy. So yeah, this is the Arrow release. This is an interesting one because it stars several Western actors, including George Kennedy, first and foremost. Also Broderick Crawford. It's quite up there in years at the time. Always liked him. We also got Robert Earl Jones. You know, that's James Earl Jones' father, who was in such films as Cockfighter and Sleepaway Camp. He's in this. And let's see, J.F. Sebastian himself, William Sanderson, has a small role. You gotta don't blink, you might miss him. And this is from the 70s, so his hair is totally different, you know. But and of course Yasaku Matsuda is in this. It also stars Joe Yamanaka. Now, he was in a band called the Flowering Traveling Band, and I have listened to some of their stuff, and it's pretty good. You know, some of the more reggae stuff I don't like as much, because that's not really my style, but he's definitely pretty good. And he was mixed race, and he was cast in this film for that reason. That's a critical factor in the story. And yeah, I'm not going to do a full review, but this is about how post-war like class divisions and post-war and international divisions with occupying troops in Japan in the post-war years, how that stuff had a lingering effect through like another generation. And you know, it just goes into some kind of unpleasant places, but it's really good. I mean, it's really solid. It's quite a film, a very unique film for sure. We'll open that up in a minute. Then we have 2 from Radiance. Cool thing about these is I put these on the shelf, and one thing I like about Radiance is they've got the directors' names right there. So I had the Bounty Hunter trilogy on the shelf, and I put this one next to it. The first one I'll show you, Yokohama BJ Blues, and you've got Kudo directing some of the Bounty Hunter movies, and Kudo directing Yokohama BJ Blues. So we've got Yokohama BJ Blues from Radiance, one of 3,000, limited to 3,000 copies. And then we have The Beast to Die, limited to one of 3,000 copies, both starring Yasaku Matsuda, of course. I've watched all 3 of these. Again, I'll do full reviews later, but very solid films, the kind of films you watch and then a couple months later you want to go back and maybe watch with the commentary. Of course, there's tons of special features on these just to absorb things that you missed. I've already read some of the essays. But really good stuff. So you got Yokohama BJ Blues. When his police detective best friend is killed, down at heel, Private Eye, and part-time blues singer, BJ, Yasaku Matsuda, gets the blame. He must start his own investigation to clear his name, but he uncovers a tangled web of crooked cops, drug-dealing gangsters, and a city's underground gay and biker scenes. Yeah, it's very good. And it's directed by Aichi Kudo, who is known for samurai movies. it's got a great soundtrack, and he's like kind of like a blues singer, so it's kind of like a blues soundtrack, and he sings on it, and he's very good. He was also a musician, put out several albums himself. Pretty good stuff. The film has a really interesting look. It's like a bluish gray and white film, not a black and white film, but a bluish gray and white film for much of it. Really enjoyed that. You know, they've got these cards on here. We've got reversible artwork and a booklet. So I'll open that up in just a second. And then The Beast to Die. This is directed by Murakawa, who directed the game trilogy. Okay. Yeah, this one is a rough one. 119 minutes. Wow, this one was something else. A traumatized war photographer, which is an understatement, Yasaku Matsuda from Yokohama BJ Blues, returns to Tokyo, plotting a series of brutal murders and robberies that were warm-ups for something else. I mean, it's right here, but I won't even read it, so I'll save a little bit for you. He has an accomplice. He finds an accomplice, the dangerously unhinged Tetsuo. Yeah, this goes in some wild places. So he was a reporter. You know, he's not quite old enough for them to have this be a veteran of World War II. You know what I mean? You know, so they made him like a war correspondent who's gotten back from like places like Indonesia where they had a civil war, and he saw some pretty horrible things, which they kind of briefly show you some photographs and things. And this guy's very traumatized. So he starts to hatch some schemes just to keep his mind busy, and it goes in some dark places. All right, so let's get these opened up, and I'll flip the cover art around. All right, let's look at proof of the man first. Well, I hadn't flipped the cover art over, so this really surprised me. Mama, do you remember? I don't think that's an alternate title. That's just a line from the movie. And there's a straw hat. There's a straw hat in this film that is highly significant. It's a pretty good mystery and detective story, among many other things. And there, I forgot to mention, this also stars Toshiro Mifune in a small role. So there's George Kennedy. And Yasaku Matsuda's character does come to New York City and interact with George Kennedy. You know, his English was not perfect, but it was good enough and kind of realistic that way. So, you know, you have a little bit of clash of cultures in there too. Excellent essays all around. And there you got some other, oh yeah, Mouth of Madness. I had my eye on that. I might go ahead and get that eventually. Let's look at the Radiance films. First off, what do you guys think about these cards on the outside? Are they kind of a pain or not really? I mean, if you're, with releases like this, you're probably taking care of them, pretty good care of them. So it's not really a big deal. But I haven't flipped the cover out yet because I wanted to show you. So here's Yokohama BJ Blues. There's the back. Yasuka, it's always fun meeting you. Goddamn, what will you do next? There he is with his band. Here's the booklet. Lots of good essays. This one's a little light on the pictures, but okay. The Beast to Die. Let's take a look at the other side. There he is. Pretty good booklet here. Yasaku Matsuda, The Lost Rebel. There's the cast and crew. I got some of his other... Oh, there's the game trilogy poster. There he is. He had quite a head of hair in this film. That's for sure. There's a couple films. Black Rain, of course. And Kage Rosa from 1981. So there's a number of his films I still need to see. Heck, I might even try to get his TV show he was in. I think it's called Detective Story. And give me a second. Let me flip this cover art, and I'll be right back. Okay, there's the back of each one. Kind of cool. Same kind of format for both of them. That's the alternate cover art for Yokohama BJ Blues. He walks around a lot in this movie. It's kind of cool, though. You get to see the city and everything, Yokohama. Some of the Sister Street Fighter sequels are filmed in Yokohama. And like I mentioned in those reviews, the ship horns make a distinctive sound. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of cool. It has its very own, it's kind of a unique vibe to that city. And that's the cover alternate front cover art for The Beast to Die. Definitely cool stuff. Well, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Have you seen any of these? Are you interested? Are you surprised that he was in a film with George Kennedy? Let me know in the comments below. Check out my Yasaku Matsuda playlist and come back again for the reviews of all 3 of these films, which I probably might not get to. We got October Halloween content, then we got Norris November. I'm going to try to do another 10 Chuck Norris films. So we're talking maybe December or January for the reviews of these films. But come back again, check out my Yasaku Matsuda playlist and my game trilogy reviews if you already haven't. All right, thanks a lot. Later.